Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in for our yet another episode of interviews and podcasts with interesting people from crypto and non-crypto world. And today we have a pretty exciting guest, actually connected with the United Nations and all the high titles. Guys, let me introduce you, Jack Wang. So as I said before, the ESG consultant for UN and also a research fellow with multiple companies. So Jack, I'm super happy that you found some time to hit the joint and be our guest. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you a lot, Avon. Thanks for everybody, the audience anywhere around the world. So I'm Jack Huang, currently work for the United Nations. So I do have this connection with the international organization, as well as we provide the consultancy service or research service for different companies. So glad to be here and share my insight.
Yeah, totally, man. I'm pretty excited to share this talk with you and especially talk about AI and the future that is ahead of us. But first, let's get back to to the roots and tell us about yourself, Jack. So where you were born and tell us about your journey. I see that, your journey bridges like product design, system architecture, AI infrastructure, and also venture innovation. So, what's the thought line that actually connects all these roles for you?
Wow, that's a very big problem, big question.
Yeah,
so
let's break it down, okay?
No worry. I was born in Taiwan. I'm a Taiwanese, but I got my degree, most of my degree in UK, United Kingdom, in London. So actually, I hold the master degree as an economist. So the IT technology, or as we know, blockchain or AI or all other innovation, like high advanced technology, I start with my career. So especially when I joined the United Nations since 2016, I was assigned to the IT department. So think about that. The UN is kind of like a government organization. So in different, component, different department, they focus on different issues. So I was in the IT department. And since then, we start trying to have several different projects. Either we issue our own project within the United Nations, or we try to work with the company or the private sector, or mostly in the developing country with their government. So different IT projects, for example, how we can monitor the food waste in Africa or in Central America. Right. For another example, in 2019, how exactly we use the blockchain to build up the donation system. We help the UNICEF or refugee to receive the donation with the blockchain. And right now, of course, you just mentioned the AI is another hot topic. So as the United Nations, we also try to get ourselves too close to this topic.
What moment or insight first made you realize that building for AI agents required a completely different paradigm?
Yeah, I would say AI agent is kind of a very interesting topic, especially since, AI per se, artificial intelligence, is not really a new topic. Even before like 2000, they do still have some language model in long term before. So the UN, of course, we try to support those sustainable development goals. Maybe some audience have heard about that, SDGs. So how exactly the AI agent can play a role? For example, for some developing country or for some small and medium-sized company in those rural areas, how exactly they can use this AI agent to speed up their business or speed up the development. That's kind of the key issue. And beside that, how to make the sustainable business model and profitable business model, that's another story.
And what are you working on right now?
Actually, we are working, if you're talking about the UN or some of my side projects, that's different. So for the UN, let me share with you with the UN first. Yeah, the UN actually, we focus more on the regulation. So maybe you heard about the kind of a joke, like always we have the innovation for America, and we have the market in Asia, and we have the regulation in Europe. So a few months ago, there was a very big event hosted by France and India. So Macron and Modi, both the president, they host this kind of conference in Paris by the end of March. So in Europe, they are really serious about how exactly involve the proper regulation. When we say regulation, we are not saying always try to forbid people to do something innovative, but we also try to say how to build a good environment for people to share their knowledge. So at the moment regarding the AI agent, in UN, actually, we try to support this regulation, how to make it a proper one, the guideline, especially for those developing countries.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And what about other side projects? Can you disclose some names, the projects you're working on?
Not specific name, but somehow I also I was involved. I have been involved in some of the project, like star project. For example, like me with Mr. Anton at Platinum. And also, for example, with some of the people in Hong Kong, they try to use the AI agent in the government service. So, for example, the Hong Kong's government, they try to have the AI agent somehow can serve the people, the citizen. So, especially, for example, if any normal citizen, they want to raise a request, for example, apply for the new ID card. And in the past, usually you have the real human being to serve them. And that's really high cost. So now how to apply the AI agent to work as a real human being? That's kind of the project we are doing right now.
You know, everyone is talking about like agents. So what's your approach more than just orchestration wrappers around LLMs?
I think the agent, they do have a different definition among the different periods. So in the past, maybe we are just talking about the chat robot. You know, whenever you ask something and they reply you, but that's just the pattern matching. They don't really have the intelligence. They only reply you and assume you like that answer. So that's in the past. But when we talk about the agent nowadays, we are talking about the real human being-like agent. Yeah. So not just reply you the very normal and easy question, like usually the first layer. So I ask you, how are you? And you reply me, I'm fine. That's the first layer. But we go deeper and deeper, the second layer, third layer, or even fourth layer. So we can really build the conversation. And somehow the agent is supposed to have the human's feeling. You can tell from what my sentence or my tone or whatever I input to the system, what exactly I feel right now. So the agent is supposed to respond to that feeling. So that's what we call the agent and with the AI right now.
Cool, man. And can you walk us through like a live use case that you're working on, something already deployed or being built on top of project that you're in?
For the Hong Kong is we do have one, but from Taiwan we also have another very similar service, like we call that real human being agent. So it's still based on AI, like ChatGPT or DeepSeek. But in Taiwan, we don't use DeepSeek, we use ChatGPT more, or Notebook LM for Google or Gemini.
I see.
So so that's kind of the like open source language model. So we built on the top of that as a new module, like we call the human being like agent. So for example, for the telecommunication company, like Taiwan Mobile or Chinese Mobile, that's the two biggest telecom in Taiwan. So they use this kind of real human being agent to respond to all the requests. And somehow they can replace the real human beings work up to more like 60 or 70%. So, as a telecom service, usually they require the very big call center in the past. But now somehow they use the AI to do the same job. And when we are talking about the call center, there's another very important thing. Usually we don't like to listen to the robot to answer our question,
yeah,
right?
It can be pretty annoying.
Pretty annoying. When we call to the bank or to the telecom company, they always tell you, for the service A, please press 1. For the service B, press 2. And that's very robotic.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
Yeah. And right now in Taiwan, actually, you can hear the almost like human people answer and talk with you.
It's like...
So, yeah. Just like right now, we are talking with each other. This kind of conversation, like even they try,
talking with ChatGPT right now, it has a live voice speaking model, and I pretty enjoy that. I use it all the time.
Exactly, but that's also caused another issue, which is energy consumption.
Yeah.
I read the newspaper say like the OpenAI, they do have the statement. Whenever you say hello or thank you to ChatGPT, it costs like millions of megawatt energy consumption. So don't be polite to ChatGPT.
Oh, that's unfortunate because I like that. Yeah. I think robots will thank me in decades or years passing. That don't kill him. There's the one that was saying thank you to us. So yeah.
Exactly. But anyway, I mean, you still keep saying thank you because they're good. Yeah.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for that line. I also heard the notion that UX for agents is not UX for humans. So what does that mean in practice?
What do you mean the for human or for the region?
UX for agents is not UX for humans. Is that does it have something meaningful in that sentence? Because I've heard that people telling it on the net. So does it make sense?
I think somehow it makes sense. I mean, I try to rephrase your question. It's about like for the agent and for the human, we do require different kind of UX or UI. Is that kind of a question?
I think, yeah.
I think it's of course, for the agent. I mean, we talk about the AI agent. Suppose they work based on the kind of coding or programming. It's kind of the computing work. And for the real human being, like we do more appreciate the real feeling or the real experience created by the real world. So this might be another opportunity, or I would say requirement. How exactly to bridge these two UX, the UX from the AI agent and the UX from the real world for our human being? Because only the AI agent can get more data or can analyze more data from the real world, what we human being face. Then we can expect there will be the AGI, like AI in general.
Yeah.
That's kind of to really deal with the tasks we have. Yeah.
And is there like a Web3 mindset, so to say? Because I've seen a lot of companies moving towards, Web3 with the Web2 thinking. So what are the most common mistakes the builders make when trying to apply like Web3 matrix, Web3 thinking to agent-native systems? Is there a such thing actually?
That's a good topic. I mean, I heard that a lot of people, even with the UN or with the government or even the startup, like a circle, they talk about this Web3 and AI. But from my perspective, I'm still trying to figure out the strong link between two areas. Of course, they have some kind of relation with each other. But Web3, from my understanding, fundamentally, is talk about blockchain or talk about the decentralization. But AI is supposed to be an independent tool. Of course, it can relate to blockchain or Web3, but somehow it's more like a tool how we use to support or facilitate our human beings' life.
Right.
So, talking about that, like if we use the decentralization, this term, to put on the AI, I will say AI per se is just a very decentralized tool. Once it has its own intelligence, then it's on internet. Probably the human being cannot really control that. So exactly. So that's why we need regulation. Back to my previous answer.
Yeah.
How we, in those leaders in Europe, in North America, try to have the real, kind of guideline how to regulate the AI in the future.
Speaking of which, where's the line between empowering agents and losing control over them? So how do you design how do you design basically with that risk in mind?
Yeah, that's a very, very good problem. I mean, a good question. Exactly. Maybe there was a movie a long time ago when we talk about the robot. So there's three pillars, three principles for the robot. The first one, don't hurt human being. The second one, don't hurt each other. And third one, always follow the order from the human being. So that's the three principles from the movie. So I think something very similar we can borrow and use for regulate the AI applications or AI development. Somehow, like we need to set up some kind of red line. For example, in ChatGPT, you probably cannot ask, how can I suicide? Or how can I make a bomb to hurt people? They kind of ban this answer. So that would be very important, very critical. Supposed to be coding inside the large language model. And on the other things, not just for those kind of red line content, but also we need to think about the quality and equality.
Right.
AI shouldn't serve the rich only. They should serve for everyone, especially the people in developing region. So how exactly we can, provide a cheaper or accessible tool for the people in that kind of situation? I think that's the things we have to keep in mind.
I still see people finding the way how to bypass that red lines because, sometimes you can, but, basically who is in charge in terms of if AI agent takes wrong action? So the protocol, the dev, or basically no one. So who is responsible for that?
Yeah, I think that's also another very big issue. Just like the electronic vehicle, everybody talks about the auto drive, right?
Yeah,
but at the moment, even the technology can almost support that, but still, we still not allow this kind of really 100% auto drive motor on the road, because as you can see, there's who is going to pay the responsibility? That's a key issue. So as a human being, our society still require, if something goes wrong, there's somebody need to take responsible. So that's in our nature, human being nature. Yeah. So even there's AI, robot, like EV, everything. So we still need someone who can, stand up and say, okay, if something wrong, that's my fault. Mm-hmm. So that's also part of the regulation we have to think about. Even AI can do everything for us.
Yeah, that's the must there. So in a nutshell, what's the role of humans in an AI agent dominant environment? So are we supervisors, governors, co-designers, or just noise? I don't know.
I would say this is supposed to be the short-term, mid-term, and long-term. In the short-term and mid-term, we're supposed to be a supervisor. So many people talk about AI will make human beings lose their job. I won't say yes. I mean, both yes and no. Because the AI may cause some people lose their job. But mostly, it will be the people who know how to use AI replace the ones who don't know how to use AI.
Yeah,
so that would be the short term.
AI won't replace us. AI won't replace us because the people who build AIs will replace us.
Exactly. And in the long term, I still think we can somehow still be the supervisor. And I always suggest some of the policymaker or the company's owner don't think AI is your enemy or your competitors. Mm-hmm. Try to make him or her as your partner. So the human being, as our human society, we always make the rule. So in the future, even AI can replace almost 99% of human beings' work, but you can still make a rule how exactly human and AI we work together. So that's kind of the way we have to think. And in a long term, I don't think that will happen in the next decade. But in a long term, maybe just like a movie, like sci-fi movie, AI will dominate the world, and human beings, we can simply just live in a world, dominated by the AI. And that would be another story, another decade.
Okay, so Jack, what's one question you still haven't answered for yourself as a builder of AI machine ecosystem? Is there such a question?
You mean the question from my side? I mean, I don't really
AI nature and building it, especially. So is there like hidden spots that there are tons of them, obviously, but
I would say, not really like a question, but more like a comment or feedback. So from my side, I put a very optimistic view about the AI development. Definitely, that's going to be another revolution. Like 18th century, the Industrial Revolution, and now 21st century is supposed to be AI or technology revolution. So it will totally change our life. And how to change our life in a positive way or good way, that's required our wisdom, especially collective wisdom, not just few single, CEO or president or prime minister, but everybody need to think about how to make that benefit for all, not for few. So for me, I won't say that's a question, but I will have the reminder, like everybody need to think about, don't just use AI to, work for the profit or work for your own benefit, but think about in a bigger picture, how to use AI to create a society or the environment we all want to live in that. So that would be my comment.
Mm-hmm. It requires a lot of thought and, awareness. You gotta educate people in order to achieve that, right?
Yeah, people need to be educated and aware of that.
There's the way ahead, definitely. There's the way. And I have just few questions left, Jack. It was super interesting talking with you. Really profound talk. And we're, digging deeper into AI nature. And in a nutshell, what gives you hope about all of these AI agents and intelligence agents in general? So maybe, is there like a hope and a pause moment. So is there like high and low in terms of AI?
What do you exactly mean high and low? I mean, you try to say that pro and pro
Okay,
for the AI agent.
is there something that gives you hope about AI and at the same time will
Yeah.
give you pause and uncertainty, maybe disguise or something like that?
I see. Yeah, but mostly like pro and pro. So yeah, of course, I do have the optimistic view and also pessimistic as well. And especially AI, I don't really think it, I give a big value for those regulators. So they're supposed to know how to regulate the AI, not use for the bad guy or for like making the war or making the conflict. However, I'm still take back to the point. I mean, as a United Nations officer, we're concerned about the inequality. So we observe overall in the world, we do have very good life compared with 20 years or 30 years ago. Doesn't matter where, America, India, or Africa. But the point is, there's a kind of the extreme, in this spectrum.
Yeah.
Like poor people, they are getting poorer and rich people getting richer. So AI will somehow, I am worried about that, to make this even more extreme. So how exactly, back to my comment, how exactly to make sure that AI or all the technology innovation, they can serve everybody. I mean, at least the majority, especially those most vulnerable groups. That will be my concern.
Yeah.
And so far, I feel a bit sad because, all the AI tools supposed to work for the capitalism only. Everything about money. Everything about how to make more money. Use money to make more money. And which I don't think AI is supposed to be only in this way, this very narrative way. They're supposed to use it in much more better.
An ethical dilemma, maybe. I think we can talk about it forever if we move to such direction. But still, I think we had a pretty nice talk, Jack. All that's left for us to do is to have a bonus round. It's like a rapid fire question round. So I'll provide you I have 5 questions and you got to answer them fast. So, just, first thing that comes into your mind, just shoot it right away. There are short questions, no overthinking, only the juice.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
First one, it goes like this: agents or AGIs, who wins by 2030?
Agents.
Okay, that's a good one.
Agent.
Good start. So most dangerous UX pattern being copied into AI today?
Most dangerous UX. Can you specify a little bit?
Okay. I think that's just. Third one thing agents are already better at than humans.
Big data. They do have more memories or information than human.
And they calculate better, I think. Definitely, obviously. Okay. What makes you uncomfortable about what you're building? Is there a thing?
Building up, you mean the AI?
Yes.
Uncomfortable one. I mean, as I keep saying, like the rich people know how to use AI to make more profit. And those profits are not shared by the poor people.
Yeah, that's the one that we're talking about. I see. And yeah, I got the last one. If your agent Launchpad is startup tomorrow, what will it be?
As an agent?
Yeah.
But tomorrow, what will be in a specific industry? I will say the company ERP manager. Yeah, that will be what I see. The AI agent can do a lot for the company, for the private sector.
Yeah, Jack, I think that's a wrap. So thank you so much for stopping by here, for stopping.
Yes, thank you so much as well.
Really interesting, Jack. I think.
Thank you. I'm really willing to share more. I mean, sorry for keep you waiting at the very first.
No. That was really interesting. Guys, if you're still watching, it was a super interesting talk with Jack Wang, ESG consultant for UN and also research fellow. If you want to talk more again, if you want to connect, just feel free to check the links in the description. There are, I think, Jack's links and ours as well. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking with us. I see you around.
Thank you, Ivan. Yeah, thank you, everyone. See you around.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, see you. Cheers. Cheers, man.
Yeah, cheers.